Hi everyone, so happy you took the time again to come over and watch a new video from Dyanne, and my name is Janny. Of course, for everyone who is new here on our channel, we do lots of DIYs, home decor and home decorate with me. If you like this content, we hope you will consider subscribing, and of course if you're already here for a long time, you know we are very appreciated what you do for us because you're giving us lots of beautiful comments and support. Thank you so much for that. And of course, like I always say, enough talking, let's see what we are up to today. So here you see what we will use for this new Christmas DIY. You see here I have one piece of my MDF board, and of course he is only 2 meters thick. So, but he is very big. What I did, I just made a silhouette of a gingerbread girl, and of course I will draw her on top of my board, and also I will put away these lines when I have her on top of my board. I will cut away these lines too, so it will be a boy. So I will make a boy and a girl on top of my board. So the first thing I'm going to do, that was really it was really not what I wanted to say. The first thing we are going to do is just draw the girl and later the boy on top of our board. So what I'm going to do right now, I'm just going to cut out first the gingerbread girl, so we have a silhouette for on top of our board. So you see already I did cut her out, and what I'm going to do right now, just with just a pencil, I'm going to draw the lines of my gingerbread. And when that is finished, when I did it with a simple pencil, then I'm going to over it with some black text marker, because that will be easier for me when I have to saw it out. I can see it a little bit better. So, but I'm going to draw everything out first and then I show you. So you see already I have the girl on top of my board. What I'm going to do is, just because it's really a waste of paper and of ink to use for your printer, I'm going to cut this off, so I will make a boy out of it. So I'm going to cut a little bit the same way, like this way. So you see already this is more like a boy. So, and I'm going to do the same way over here. And now I hope I get it the same measurement, at least I hope, or else we get two different gingerbread. So I have to, you see, now we have our boy, and we don't waste money on ink and on paper. So I'm going to draw also this gingerbread man on top of here. So you see how easy it was just to place them on top of my board. And of course, before I go sew my gingerbread, of course you can also, if you have cardboard laying around, just also you can make them from cardboard, and then it's almost no cost at all. I had this piece of board I already have laying in my garage, so for me it doesn't cost anything either. Sorry. Sorry. So, but if you have cardboard laying around, just make them from cardboard. So here you see how my boy and my girl gingerbread turned out, and it was really a lot harder than I thought it would be, because of course I worked a lot with my jigsaw already, but never make a real shape out of it. So it was really hard to make. At least it was hard for me. Maybe there are people who are just doing this and it's totally done, but this was a little bit harder than I thought. What I'm going to do right now, I'm going to make a little pants over here for the boy, and of course some a little dress over here. So I'm going to make with some just easy pencil, I'm just going to make some lines over here. So of course over here, and make a little around her neck. So I'm just going to set up a little bit how I want to have it. So you see already I did some drawing, and I am, like I always tell you earlier, I'm not a great drawer, so I am just doing my best. You see here the little girl, I just made the arms, the little bit around for her dress. This is just a setup, it doesn't have to be this way. This is just a little bit what I tried out, and I just gave it a little, I don't know how you call it, here in the Netherlands we call it an overall. So I don't know how you call it, I call it a pants, but of course it is one, it probably has a different name in English, but I'm going to try, and I'm not sure about the middle section. So what I'm going to do, I'm just going to take some paint, and we're going to try just to set up with some paint, and if we like it or not. So first what I'm going to do, I'm going to, like I said, I'm going to paint them. I'm going to start with painting the little dress. Of course, I let the camera run for a little while, but I don't know if you will see it or not, because I don't want you to be bored if watching at me when I'm going to paint my dress. So I'm going to paint it, and I'll show you. You will see if you see it, the whole piece or not. We will see. But I tried to do it in the dark red color. So I'm going to make the lines. And this color will dry up a lot darker than you see right now. So I will do the whole dress, and then I'll show you how the dress is looking like. So you see, this is the first coat with the dark red. I did his t-shirt, of course, and her dress. What I'm going to do right now is just let it dry, and then I'm going to look if it needs a second or a third coat, because I want to have it really dark red. So I will wait until it's dry, and then what I told you earlier, then we're going to make the darker green. So you see, I have three coats on top of for the little dress, and of course for his t-shirt. And what I'm going to do is, this is the color I made for I hope it dries up a little bit darker than it is right now. So I am going to do his trousers. It is not really a trousers, but I really don't know. I have to look it up what an overall means in English. I have to do, of course, I do this in the green color, and also from the little dress, the little piece on top of her dress. So I'm going to do this in the, you see already, in this dark color. I hope, at least, like I said, I hope it will dry up a little bit darker. And when we have painted everything, then we are going to complete the whole gingerbread. But first we have to paint everything. So I will do the rest, and then I show you how they are looking like. So this is how they are looking like with the first coat on it, and of course they need at least the second and the pink, also the third. But you see already how nice they are already looking, and how Christmassy they are already looking. And it's so easy, just like I said earlier, just make them from cardboard and just paint them, and you have the same result like I will have with some wood. But if you have old wood, you can also use old wood, but it is so easy to make. And I hope when I do it step by step every DIY, I hope you get inspired and make one of your own. So you see how they are turned out when I have sometimes 3 and even 4 coats on top of it, because the wood was sucking in everything of my paint. So I did have at least a little dress I needed 4 times. What I'm going to do right now, because I want to have some buttons over here, and of course one on his little trousers, and of course on her dress. So I printed out because I'm not a great someone who can draw very nice buttons and that kind of thing. So I make it myself easy. You do, if you can draw great, just do it your own. I just did on my computer, I made some rounds. These are the candy, the peppermint candies from the Christmas. I only did it in the black and white and not in the red and white. So because I have a little bit of black, of course, always in my decor. So I will cut them out, and I'm just going to do Mod Podge 2 over here, and one over here, and one over here. And then I show you how they are looking like. So you see, I did cut them out, and now I'm going to Mod Podge them on top of our dress and trouser. And you see already how great it looks already. At least I like the color, the black and the white. It's a little bit different, like you always have the red and the white. But if you are more of the neutral and more of the traditional colors, then you have to go of course from the red and the white. So, but I'm going to Mod Podge this on top of it. So you see already I did do the buttons on top of it over here, and I had a couple of this one over, and I did them in the black color, and I just made his eyes. I am not totally satisfied. I am now going to, I already did with some pencil, I draw out a line for the mouth, but I am going to try to do it in the white color. We will see how this will work out, because like I said, I'm not totally satisfied, so we will see. This is an experiment, because these are my first gingerbread I made, so I am going to look for how it's turning out. So now I'm going to do with some like I said, with some paint, I'm going to do first the mouth, and then I show you how they are looking like. So you see, I did with the white, I did the mouth, but I am not totally satisfied, because he is not the way I want him. I just now took a permanent marker, a white one, and I'm going to try. I already did some lines around his hands before I wax it, so I will do some lines over here, and of course around his head. And then I'm going to look like if I also can do the mouth a little bit better with the marker than with my paint, because I really don't like it. So I will work on that, and then I'll show you how it's looking like with the permanent white marker. So this is how they look like when I did my permanent marker over here, and I'm just going to wax now both of the gingerbread. Of course, also don't forget the sides. Also the sides, do everything in the wax, and even the back side, and of course the front. You don't have to do the dress, but if you like a little bit of a darker color, you also can do some furniture wax on top of it. But I am only going to do the wooden pieces, and then I hope he will change a little bit more in the rustic. So we will see how this will work out. So you see, I use some simple furniture wax from a home brand, so it doesn't cost almost nothing. And you see already I did it on his feet, and you see already how dark he's going to be. Now he's getting the real cookie color. So I am going to do all of them, and I'm doing it with a little small brush, because I don't want to have the white lines in the brown color. So you have to be a little bit careful to do it in the wax. But if you do it differently, or normally you'd say I do it in the wax and later on I will do the white marks, but if you use a white marker, it doesn't go very well on a furniture wax, so be careful with that. So that's why I did first the white marker, and now I'm going to wax it. So you see, when they are right now, they are standing in the furniture wax. I let it dry for a couple of hours. What I'm going to do, because I'm not totally satisfied about the eyes, and of course we are still giving the little girl, we still give a little bow, but I make always my bow with a little piece of ribbon. I just fold it, do a little bit of glue on top of here, just fold it this way. I just squeeze a little bit and just take a piece of twine and turn it around a couple of times, and then you have already your own simple bow. And I will glue this on top of here or on this side, I have to see, but that's what I'm also going to do. But I thinking about the eyes, if I do something white in the middle or not, I have to think about it, but for now they have to dry. So, and here do you see the end result of my two little gingerbread boy and a girl. I am so happy now how they turned out. You see here the girl with a little bow on top of it. And of course, like I said earlier, make them from cardboard. They are much easier to cut. So just make them. This is my first try to making them, and I'm really happy how they turned out. So I hope you give it a try also, and just got a little bit of inspiration how easy it is just to make your own gingerbread boy and girl.
Okay, first what you need some pallet wood. I have here a part made out of an old pallet, and I'm going to divide it one into pieces of 20 centimeters, and then I'm going to cut it out. It's a very thick one, but I think that will look beautiful. So this is the block divided in 3 parts of 20 centimeter. Now I'm going to take the power saw from Janny and then saw here across this line. Well, okay, a little bit change of plans. Now I want to make them square pieces so I can make 2 snowmen. I'm going to stack three of these on top of each other so you can get some sort of block tower, but then in the form of a snowman. Look, the blocks are sawed out, and I filed them a little bit on the edges because they were pretty rough here. So now I can start painting them, and then stack them together, you know, like this. That is the idea actually, but then just not completely in a straight line. But you can vary with that if you like this more, then do that. But I think, you know, something like this looks cute, or maybe a little bit turned. We'll see. Okay, time to paint. I'll be using this, well, it says vintage paint. It's a white one, but actually it's just chalk paint and a brush. So pour the paint upon the wooden block and then simply start brushing it out with your brush until everything is evenly spread. You might need multiple layers for this. But yeah, to be honest, this is some new paint actually that I bought recently from Action. And yeah, I also have it in other colors, but I always thought that the white one was varnish. But luckily for us, it is paint. So this stuff is much better, at least I find it much better, than the large chalk paint which we had in cans. Just continue like this until all the blocks are painted well. Well, other blocks are painted, so I'm ready to stack them together, but I have to be careful because, well, you can see it here. And some parts are still rusty nails inside, and you see the rust coming through the paint. So this will be the bottom part of the block. I'm going to stack them together, yeah, well, roughly, oh, some dirt there, a little bit like this. And then you get a snowman with a head and its belly. I'm using this glue. It is actually cheap Mod Podge, so it is suitable to glue wood together. And I think I'm going to do that now. So just going to put some glue upon there, brush it out a little bit with a brush, and then stack it together and let it hold for, well, I think at least an hour. And if you don't want to glue with cold glue, you can also use the hot glue gun, of course. We have dry glue here. Now it is time to start decorating the snowman. Let me find some buttons and pieces to make the nose with. Okay, I found some buttons. The large ones, they're all made of wood, by the way. The large ones come here and there. And I have smaller ones. These are for the eyes. One there, one there. And then I found these wooden pieces to make a nose from. But I don't know if I really like the bulb here at the end or not. Well, let me think. I can also use the saw to chop the bulb off, but maybe I think I'm first going to paint everything, glue it upon with the bulb, and if I don't like it, I can also always cut the bulb off on the top. So these are going to be black, and these one will be orange. Time to paint. I have some black acrylic paint. And this is orange acrylic paint, which I mixed myself with red and yellow. And of course I have 2 brushes. The smallest one is for the nose part, and the largest one is to paint the buttons with. Yeah, I think I just start painting the buttons first. And then I'll be using, well, not using a cup to pour my paint in. Oh, this one is really stuck. Oh, well, that's no big deal if you're don't clean your paint after you used it. There we go. Okay, just need a little bit of paint. I'm just pouring it directly upon the button itself. And then just start painting away. Maybe it's easier if I lay it down. Oh, these things are so small. Well, I have more than enough paint for the next one too. I have to do the side parts as well. These things are just too small to paint them at once, otherwise they really flip over. So just easily paint everything until you're satisfied with the result. And then you can let them dry. I think these things need for half an hour drying time. The wood isn't that hard to dry. And then they turn out the way you like it. All the buttons are painted, the noses are as well. Now I'm going to heat up the glue gun and take you with me to the kitchen to glue this all upon the snowman. Time to start decorating the head. I have a little bit of problems filming here, so I'll just tell you what I'm going to do. After this I'm going to use my glue gun to fix everything in place. I want the eyes to be here. Then I need the nose here. Then I want to make a mouth here. Only with tiny dots of permanent marker. So that is what I'm going to do. In the next shot you'll probably see the result. This is what the face looks like. I think it is super cute. I really like the eyes and the nose, and the mouth is cute too. Now I'm going to do the other one, and then I'll think I'm going to fix everything, the body into the right place. So keep on, we're almost there. Now I see this. Actually, I find these buttons way too large for, you know, the snowman. So I think I'm going to use other ones. And also going to place them in another position. These are a little bit smaller. And I love to have them right here. And now I take a look, I also think that I can do, you know, a little bit more distressing around the edges here of the snowman. So I'm going to grab myself some gray paint and carefully distress the edges. Maybe with a little bit of brown beeswax as well. And then we'll see how it turns out. And I also want to make a cute little, not a hat, but how do you call it, other thing? Doesn't mind. I'll show you in the next step or later on in the video what I had in mind. But first, let's do some distressing, and these ones are going to be black. I'll be using the same acrylic paint again, but now on the smaller buttons. And I also have another pencil, or another brush, sorry. This one has a little bit more of a round tip. So I hope it is easier for me to paint the round shapes of this button. Oh, well, that must be Janny. I just showed her a picture of the snowman. And she thinks it is really cute yet. So I'll be back soon with all the buttons painted, and then I will show you how you can distress a snowman. The buttons are black and dry. Now it is time to distress these blocks. Well, let me first practice with, well, what shall we say will be on the bottom? I think this one here. You take an old towel, and I have a little bit of gray paint. What I'm going to do, you also need a brush, by the way. I'm just pouring some old paint, or gray paint, on the brush. And I am, you know, dabbing the brush inside of the towel. And now you just carefully start distressing only the edges of the blocks. Look, then it gets a worn look, which is what we want. Don't forget to do the sides here and there. Some parts are a little bit worse or darker than the other ones. I think there's still some paint left. Oh yeah, more than enough. And just do what gives you a good feeling. can also, you know, distress the middle part, but first I want to only do the edges to see how it turns out. You can always, if you want to, always can distress more later. And the cool thing is that these blocks are so rough, they look distressed already by themselves. Only have to add a little bit of paint to make it look more distressed. And then, yeah, actually this is a little bit of the idea. You can make it as dark or as light as you want. Just do what you think is most beautiful. Look, then this is a little bit the idea what you can make. Just an idea. It's how it looks all together. Really has a nice and warm farmhouse look. Yeah, just letting it dry now because the paint isn't completely dry yet. And when I'm done with the gray, well, maybe, and I'm going to add some brown beeswax. Okay, the gray paint is dry. Time to put some beeswax upon the blocks. A really tiny bit. I think that this brush is too big, so I'm going to find myself a smaller one, and then I'll be back. I'm back with a smaller one. Just going to roughen it up a little bit more in the towel. Yeah, I think this is good. Okay, just take a really, really tiny bit of wax. This is way too much, so I'm going to dab it again. Oh, that was a bit too much dabbing, I think. Okay, let's try, well, in the dark place here. Can need some more, I think. We start off with a little bit and you see if it is enough or not. Look. Can you see the difference between the non-waxed and the waxed side? This one looks more vintage than this side. So, just going to continue only doing the edges and not the center parts. That's why I wanted a tiny brush. And just continue until you're satisfied. Start carefully. And if you want to add more, just take a little bit more layers. There we go. The brown is dry. I'll show you a close up. This is the top, and here you can see the best part of the brown here as well. So they are distressed now. What I want to do next is making a small hat. Therefore I have this piece of burlap, and what I want to do, just lay this buddy down here. Let me see, where is the beginning? Wrap around some burlap like this. Then glue this together and, you know, get a piece of twine or something, or an elastic band. Pull it together like this. Need some filling in here, and then tie it up like this, glue it together, and then you have a beautiful hat. So that is what I'm going to do next. Just measure how much I need. I don't know what the diameter of this part here is. Going to cut that out a little bit longer than the diameter of the head, and then I will glue everything together and make the rest of the hat. This is the idea. Glue the thing in the back here, glue, and then put the top together, put some fabric in here to make it a little bit more fluffy, and then the snowman has a hat. This was the base of the idea. Just glue the burlap upon its head. Still empty, but you know, use any other filling that you want to use. I'll be using these cotton pads, but you can also use something else. Then I'm going to stuff it up, use an elastic rubber band here to put this all together, and then just, you know, wrap the band around it and make it together with maybe some glue. Maybe it isn't even necessary. We'll see how it turns out. Well, this is the idea actually. I kept the stuffing out because this burlap was stiff enough. And I wrapped the top with a rubber band. I think we're going to cover that with some twine wrapped around. But I think these two fellas look super cute. Well, actually I'm pretty happy with the heads now. The only thing I want to do is take a piece of buffalo check ribbon and wrap that around the elastic rubber band on top. From the same ribbon, I want to make a scarf around here. Then I'm going to glue the buttons on the center part of the body. Then I want to... sorry, I have a really cranky voice suddenly. I don't know what happened. Then from the bottom, I want to make words with wooden letters. Look, I'll show you the letter box. Yeah, I wrapped it in plastic because otherwise all these letters will fall out. This comes from Action, and I want to make snow and cold. So I guess it will look a little bit like, just like this. I also want to make snow. And that will be the bottom parts of the snowman. So yeah, the glue gun is warming up here in the back. When that is done, I'm going to grab my ribbon from the storage room. And then we continue. This is the ribbon where I was talking about from AliExpress, but it is for the hat a little bit too large. So the only thing I want to do is glue here and then fold it in, in half actually. So you get a really thin line, which can be wrapped around. What is this? No, then it gets really buzzy. I don't think that is the right idea to do so. So yeah, I'm going to take the two right pieces out, glue them together, and then I can easily pull them here. Look, they're now smaller. Just going to add a little bit of glue on the tip of the ribbon. Turn down your glue gun. Just use the scissors to press it against the rubber band. Get it secure now, wrapping it around tightly. Oh no, it came loose. Yeah, just some more glue at the end. Trying to guide it down. Oh. Why? Yeah, there it is. Now it stays in place. Just going to hold it till the glue is cooled down, which is about now. And then you get this. That is super cute. My idea was to make a scarf just like this, and after gluing, it's still not glued. Just adding 2 buttons here. First I thought 3, but now I need space for the scarf. So yeah, a little bit more to the side. And the parts aren't completely even. Well, I have to figure this out, of course. I think this will do. Yeah, that is better. Okay. Then I just carefully start gluing the whole thing down. Hopefully I don't ruin the whole design. That would be stupid. But we'll manage. A little bit more down. Yeah, now it is straight. Okay, let's start gluing. I'm only gluing underneath the flaps, which are here and there. Now here's a small dot. Now the whole thing is more stable. Now I'm going to glue underneath here. And I hope then everything will be in place and stay in place. Because if I'm going to glue too much, you can see that probably throughout the ribbon. Well, I think it is secure here. And here as well. Little glue peeping through. Let's make a cool down enough so I can easily take it off. Yes. Okay, nice. Let me check. Yeah, that looks super sweet. And then the buttons, oh, can be added like this. First I'm going to do this one. Well, the upper bodies are done. Now I'm going to take out some Mod Podge and glue the letters upon the bottom parts before I start assembling everything together. Oh, there are still a lot of glue threads here and there, which I need to remove. Well, I think that was most of it for now. Here you see the idea before assembling everything together. I think I'm going to use Mod Podge to put this on the blocks. And after that I'm going to distress them a little bit with pencil, just the edges so they get a little bit more gray and distressed. And after that I can glue the whole thing together. So the letters are upon the blocks. Now I just take a pencil and start, let me show it on that W. Just put some gray at the edges here so they look a little bit more worn, old and distressed. Just like this. I hope you can see it. I zoomed in already pretty much. So, and you see it, this is the difference between a distressed and a non-distressed letter. There they are, all completely glued together. I think they look so cute. Let us know in the comment section what you think about this DIY. We hope we could inspire you.
So this was it already for today's video. I hope you enjoyed watching and just got a little bit of inspiration of it. And like I said earlier, if you're new here and you like this content, I hope you will consider subscribing to the Dyanne and my channel. For everyone else, we wish you all a beautiful, beautiful day. Stay safe, take care of yourself and take care of each other. And we hope to see you in our next video. Love from Dyanne and me. Bye everyone.